you've got a couple of other things on there again. You need to just play with this one sometime. I'm not going to go through all this, you won't remember it anyway. These are just how long the reverbs last for. Damping is how much it goes on. You've got a wide, it won't make any difference in here because I'm not in stereo, but in stereo, if you put the wide on, the effect goes wide across the stereo spectrum. Sounds like sometimes wider than the speakers. It's an electronic effect you put it on. And to the right here, these are just effects returns, these are the external, so you're not going to touch any of these. And again, these are set now, don't touch these ever, because once feeding the induction loop system, which is going to come on to you about the induction loop system, the amp at the top is the induction loop amp. They work electromagnetically. Basically, there's a big coil of wire, which is putting out an electromagnetic wave that the hearing aids pick up. Quite clever how it works, actually.
Physical coil of wire.
Yeah, yeah. And it's like a radio transmitter. It's like a big aerial, and it's not, but it's theoretically that's what's happening. And the induction loop system hearing aids pick them up. We've set that up now, so it's working, and it's going out what's called a utility send, which is a spare overall mix send, which is one of these. Which one is? It's this one here. Utility out. That's going into the induction loop system, and what that gets now is whatever you hear through the main speakers. And
before it only got Edwina.
Yes. It's been plugged in.
Oh, she wasn't in the building, well.
So don't touch these. The one above is the headphones level. You wouldn't adjust that if you're using the headphones, obviously, but don't touch the utilities. And these tape returns are irrelevant.
Where are the headphones kept separate, or are
there's some here.
Oh, they are.
Yeah.
I didn't know.
There's a permanent. They plug into here, and then on solo you just hear the channel you've soloed. Here's your phantom power switch. That's the phantom power going on. As I've got nothing phantom powered anyway, I don't think. So I know I said not to do that, but I have. Okay, but that's your phantom power switch. So we're not using it at the moment. And end up with your main mix, which is everything we've just gone through eventually gets to your main fader at the end. Now I've set it up so the induction loop's getting the right signal strength and everything. This is on 0, so you shouldn't really have to touch this. If you need to turn it up, turn the amp up. Try and keep this around at its 0, which is unity on these desks. U is 0 dB. Leave that there.
Is that 0 up there?
Yeah, you've got 0 and plus 6.
So keep it on 0.
Keep it on 0. That's, again, when we set everything up, everything should be working at 0 dB. So when you set your mics up, it's just this with your solo on, so we're getting around 0 here. If everything's at 0, everything's at the correct level, and it's feeding the amplifiers properly, and everyone's turning up the amp. If this needs to be adjusted, the amps are set wrong. Because that really shouldn't. Obviously, you've got an overall mixer mic to take the volume up and down generally, but you shouldn't have to do much with that. That's not really what it's for. If you're in the service and it's too loud, you're better off coming down here, because that should still be working at 0 as it goes out, and for the induction loop system to be getting its proper level, that needs to be there. So that doesn't need touching, nor does that. We've got a graphic equalizer here. What that is a very comprehensive bass and treble system where you can actually create a graph, and that picks certain frequencies, cuts and boosts them. We'll have a play with that at some point when there's a whole band, so it does make a dramatic difference to the sound in here. Again, keep everything flat to start with, don't mess with things, and see if it works, and then just use it to tweak things at the end. Once that's set up, that doesn't need touching ever, so we might actually, once we do the next rewiring phase, we'll actually slate everything properly, test it, and get the setting right, and then leave it. Doesn't need touching then.
Just those 2 end channels then that are assigned.